What's up, everyone? UFC 313, amazing event, amazing main event. The entire main card really is one of those events that it's worth every penny to it. So let's get to it. Main event: Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. As I said, I made this comment before. Nothing excites me more as a fight fan than when we truly get to see the two best guys go at it. And to see who the better fighter is. In this case, in my opinion, well, the best is Alex Pereira. Obviously, he's the champion. But to me, the clear number two guy is Magomed Ankalaev. I've been wanting to see this fight for over a year now, but a year and a half since I've been thinking to myself, man, I want to see Ankalaev and Alex Pereira go at it. So finally, we have it. There's a lot to say about this fight, this particular main event. So I was trying to organize my ideas, and I'm gonna start with both their last fights. Okay, so Magomed Ankalaev is coming from pulling a decision against Alexander Rakic back in October 2024. A decision, a very competitive decision, I would say. It's not like Ankalaev went out there and destroyed Rakic, but he won the way I thought he was going to win, where his own striking was going to be good enough to, make Rakic aware, and the pressure, the pressure and the octagon control will eventually get in the decision. I always talked about how Rakic has really good striking. Obviously, nothing like Pereira, but yeah, great victory by Ankalaev. Again, not the most amazing fight. A striking battle where fight went to decision. Before that, he knocked out Johnny Walker. I mean, who doesn't? He knocked out Anthony Smith and split draw with Blachowicz, which is a very key, important fight for my breakdown, for my prediction for this fight. Alex Pereira is coming from beating Khalil Rountree by TKO in the fourth round. Brutal fourth round where he absolutely broke him, like completely destroyed his face. But something to point out was that had that been a 3-round fight, there is a big chance Khalil Rountree would have walked away with a 29-28 decision. So it wasn't like he steamrolled over Khalil Rountree. Round 1 and 2, I gave it to Khalil, and then obviously round 3, Pereira started to take over, and then he finished him in the round 4. But that's why I said, had it been 3 rounds, very likely 29-28 Khalil Rountree. But anyways, he destroyed him in the 4th round. On this fight, I'm going to focus on Pereira's career since he went out to light heavyweight, right? So it's interesting, the narrative for this fight, right? You have someone like me who says, okay, if Ankalaev is going to win this fight, he has to grapple. He has to mix it up. He has to go for takedowns, because if he just keeps it standing, the same thing is going to happen that has happened to everyone else, except for Blachowicz. When I make that comment, people come back at me and say, you don't know what you're talking about. Magomed Ankalaev is just a striker. He doesn't grapple. He doesn't know how to grapple. There's no way he's going to grapple. This is going to be a striking fight, and Alex Pereira is going to destroy him in a striking fight. Okay. And this is when I say, and I always reply to them, like, choosing to strike, going into a fight with the game plan that you want to have a striking fight, doesn't mean you are unable to grapple. Doesn't mean you cannot grapple. It just means that you prefer to strike, and you're a good striker, so you keep winning your fights. So, okay. You continue to strike. That's what he's done in 99% of his fights, except for the Blachowicz fight. Okay. Again, this is the one common opponent they have, John Blachowicz. So you have Rakic, who goes out there, chooses to stand up and trade, wins all his fights, except when he ran into Blachowicz, right? And then you have Alex Pereira, who former professional kickboxer, Every single one of them they put in front of him, they choose to have a kickboxing fight with him, he absolutely destroys them. Khalil Rountree paid the price, Gio Prochaska paid the price, Jamal Hill paid for it, Prochaska paid for it before that. But there's one guy that didn't, and that was Jan Blachowicz. What did Blachowicz do against Pereira? Well, he was the only one with the brain cell, and this where he realized, okay, I should probably grapple and mix it up with this guy. Sure enough, he did. Not only did Alex Pereira not knock him out or not dominate him, he barely won a split decision. People seem to forget that. I mean, to this day, Alex Pereira could have lost his light heavyweight debut because it was a split decision where you could argue for both. Of course, every time there's a split decision, people throw the word robbery, wherever. I don't think it was a robbery. In my opinion, the majority of the time, a split decision was a very competitive fight that could have gone either way. Doesn't mean it was a robbery, but you could argue Blachowicz could have won that fight. He could have got the split decision. But what is the difference? What is so important that he was the only guy who didn't make the genius choice to have a striking battle with the former professional kickboxer, right? Now, we'll look at Magomed Ankalaev fight with Blachowicz. He starts the fight as he always does, starts to get his legs chewed up. Both of them. I can't remember a fight where, because usually a guy's leg gets chewed up and then they kind of switch stands and, they kind of like move around it. This guy, Blachowicz, chopped his leg, he switched stands, he was limping, and then he started to go for the other one and then made him limp again. Ankalaev, realizing this, it was like, holy shit, I better grapple. And sure enough, if you go watch that fight, which was a draw, all round 4 and all round 5, Ankalaev chose to grapple and took him down and controlled him with a lot of success. There was nothing Blachowicz could do. Even at the very end of round 3, Ankalaev shoots for a takedown, takes him down. Round 4, about a minute and a half into it, shoots for a double, a perfectly executed double, takes him down, controls him. And about 10 seconds into the 5th round, he kind of like fakes he's going for a takedown, which makes Blachowicz kind of like lose his balance, and then takes him down, beats him, and dominates him. I think it was it was a draw. Ankalaev probably lost rounds 1, 2, and 3, and then won 4 and 5, and they probably gave him a 10-8 for round 5. But what the important thing to take out about that fight was that when Ankalaev realized that he was losing the striking battle, he was like, okay, I need to grapple. And sure enough, he did. And he showed that he can grapple, and he was able to control this fight. So now we have Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. One guy dominated Blachowicz in the grappling when he needed to. The other guy couldn't beat the guy because of the grappling, right? We know what Alex Pereira is going to do. He's probably the easiest guy to predict. This is the former professional kickboxer. He's going to go out there to try to have a kickboxing fight with you. Every single genius they put in front of him, they do exactly that. He knocks them out. So what is Ankalaev going to do here? I'm picking Ankalaev to win because I'm going to trust that him and his team have prepared to what you need to do to fight this former professional kickboxer. Ankalaev is probably going to go there, start trading. He's going to eat a few leg kicks, a few punches, and he's going to be like, holy shit, I better grapple, or this is going to be Blachowicz all over again. And what is your ego so big that you're going to go out there and choose to have a striking battle to lose just because people don't say, oh, he took him down? No, I don't believe. I believe that his desire to win the belt is bigger than that. So I'm going to go with Magomed Ankalaev by TKO round 3 or 4. He mixes it up because he needs to. Eventually gets a TKO ground and pound or just wears on him, tires him out, and eventually gets the TKO. With that being said, if you are convinced Ankalaev is going to have a striking battle and he goes there and has a striking battle, he deserves to get knocked out, and he's probably going to get knocked out. Co-main event is Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. This would be such an easy fight for me to pick if it wasn't because of late notice for Rafael Fiziev. Gaethje is coming from his loss against Max Holloway back at UFC 300, where he got knocked out. He got dominated the entire fight. Fiziev is coming from an injury against Gamrot, where he injured his knee about a year and a half ago. Yeah, about a year and a half ago. So, again, if it wasn't a short notice for Fiziev, it would be a lot easier for me to pick him and say, okay, him by knockout. Very confident on it. But the problem is I'm not confident in picking Fiziev. You know, he could very well, because we don't know if he's at 100%. I'm sure he's healthy, but is he in fight shape? Is he ready to go there and dominate and perform against Gaethje, who had prepared himself for Hooker? I don't know. I believe Fiziev is the better striker, and I believe at I'm going to go assuming he does at 100%, and even though he didn't have a fight assigned, he is in fight shape. I think he will connect on Gaethje's chin and knock him out. You know, we go from there. With that being said, if he's not at 100%, and he goes there and he doesn't look, and starts to kind of like slow down towards the end of round one, Gaethje will probably absolutely dominate him. So Fiziev by TKO, not confident at all. Not confident at all. Jalen Turner versus Bahamondes. This one is interesting. I was surprised to see Turner as the underdog, or it's only pick'em odds. I have never seen Jalen Turner lose a fight where it's a 100% striking battle. You know, if you look at his fight versus Moicano, okay, so he lost that fight because he got taken down, and then he got beat by a TKO, ground and pound. But the split loss against Dan Hooker, who in my opinion, he's a better fighter than Bahamondes, and it was a split that I thought Jalen Turner won. Before that, Matthews Gamrot, he used a lot of grappling. I don't see Bahamondes using grappling on this one. As a matter of fact, I've seen his fights against Manuel Torres and what was it, the one before? Christos Giagos. He likes to strike. This guy likes to go out there and have a striking battle with his people. And I don't think any of them have the experience that than guys like Hooker or Gamrot or Moicano or even Bobby Green, I think, would beat some of those guys. Again, I'm picking Turner to win this one by a TKO because of the fact that I have never seen anyone go out there with a striking approach and beat him, you know, with ease. Now, again, you could argue Hooker, but Hooker, in my opinion, is high level than Bahamondes. But yeah, what scares me about this one is a lot of people are picking Bahamondes. They say that, you know, he's going to beat him, and then they question Turner's heart and that. But again, Moicano, he had it. He had it he had it. He was dumb and, you know, let that win slip away from him. But I don't see Bahamondes grappling. He likes to strike. That's what the guy does. And I don't think he's the better striker or faster or sharper or anything like that. So I'm going to go with Turner. This could be one where I eat my words, where I am like, wow, I completely misread that. But I just think Turner is the much better striker. And then Mauricio Ruffy versus Bobby Green. I have Mauricio Ruffy by destruction, knockout, round 1 or 2. Green coming from getting submitted by Paddy Pimblett. Before that, he beat Miller, and Mauricio Ruffy coming from a very competitive fight against James Jontop. But yeah, I don't think Green has anything for Ruffy. No, he's not a better grappler. He's not a better striker. He's not faster. He's not younger. So Mauricio Ruffy, TKO, round 2. Sorry guys, I only have 15 minutes to upload videos from my phone to YouTube. I don't know why, so I have to rush always. The Pereira Ankalaev kind of took most of the time, but Ankalaev by TKO rounds 2 or 3, Fiziev by TKO also maybe rounds 1 or 2, Jalen Turner by TKO round 1 or 2, maybe even the decision, and Ruffy by TKO as well.